Yo, what up? What up? What up? This is your boy Mad Scientist, actually streaming on a Monday, as I am supposed to, especially when it's called Mondays with Mad Scientist. How you guys doing? All right, so let's just go ahead and get into it. I was gonna talk about a book that I read this weekend. Yeah, I was not booked this weekend. Nah, seriously, I had to. You guys know I do beats. Okay, basically, I do some beats this weekend, so I wasn't out uh, any clubs, events, or bars, and so that's again too why I look so grimy today, and I'm licking my lips because my lips are ashy because I didn't go out, stayed home, didn't do anything. Um, so I'm already losing my thoughts. You can't be losing your thoughts. So I'm actually okay. I'm actually doing my Mondays with Mad Scientist, and I was going to do something totally different because I read this book or I listened to this book over the weekend called "The Miseducation of the Negro" by Dr. Carter G. Woodson. It's a very good book. I'm not going to talk about it today because it has nothing to do with DJ, and I said I wasn't going to get political or educational or anything like that. It's because something else came up, an alternative, so I could talk about something that relates to what I actually do, which is DJ. But I would recommend, that you do read it because first and foremost, I am a business. And a businessman. I am a business, so the book does address businesses. I'm also, black. Um, my parents had a different word for it, but you know, I am black, and it's something that I believe as an individual that history teaches us what we need to know today. It's like before there was Google, before there was, navigation or waves or, you have books and you read these books and they basically told you, hey, this is how things were. I think that book was written in 1933 and this is how things were. And if you want to know how to move forward in your life, then here you go. So I do a lot of reading. On different subjects, books on investing, books on history, books on American history, books on Caribbean history. Just because I want to see how things went, European history. I want to see how things went because basically it just lets me know, okay, this is the move I need to make. Or this is why things are. So I need to change my mind on how I look at, I need to change my perspective and see like, oh, like, I give you an example that I read about Adam Smith, who is the creator of capitalism. And he wrote a book called The Wealth of Nations. And he wrote about this in 1776. And the book was actually published in 1776, but he was lecturing about this subject a couple years before, in the 1760s, in preparation for the book coming out. And one of the most interesting things about reading about Adam Smith and The Wealth of Nations is that I've come to the conclusion that most of us don't have a true understanding of what capitalism is. And when I say we, like most people in America just don't have a clue. We just don't, we're not even close. Like I listen to people talk and, for or against capitalism. And I'm thinking in my head, like, you don't even understand, like, that doesn't even connect with what capitalism is. Like, you have a problem with a total different economic system that is not capitalism. But people here just assume in America that, everything that we do is capitalism. So no matter what, it all leads to capitalism, and it's not necessarily true. So I would definitely encourage, just some reading, history. I may later on in this little Mondays with Mad Scientist, because the way it connects to my journey trying to get to where I want to be, is that, I live in America and I need to understand the rules of the game. Like, that's what I've figured out. Like, I made the statement, I want to be famous, right? And I have this journey of being famous. And there is a way to do it legally. Okay, I'm not doing anything illegal, but there's a way to do it legally, and that way to do it has already been laid out. It's not something that I have to invent. It's not something new. And I know it personally in my life because I've already had success in 2 other industries. So it's not like, okay, well, it can't be done. It can. The difference with music is that because music is global, it's overly saturated. Really, how many DJs are out there? How many people are singing, rapping, DJing? There's a lot of people. So the competition has increased. Whereas before, real estate agent, I'm in a local area, it's a smaller industry where I am. The competition is different. So, because everybody's not buying a house in California, but everybody is trying to sell music around the world. And so in order for me to really, go on this mission of being famous, having a global brand, I have to understand the globe and how the globe works, how different countries work, and how they work historically. Okay. And so that way I can kind of navigate through the issues that come up. So that's why I do a lot of reading, do a lot of research. And I found that people who have become the multimillionaires and the multi-billionaires are people who are pretty much well-read. I mean, you got to be smart. You can't just wake up and pray to God and hopefully one day. I mean, that would be trying to play the lottery. That would be it. I would be a professional lottery player, and that's not what I want to do. I want to be a professional. I am a professional DJ. I want to make a lot of money as a professional DJ and in the future a brand ambassador, right? Where I would have products, sell those products, and people would buy it, and boom, multimillionaire, billionaire. All right, so back to what I was going to talk about, which is the subject of this particular YouTube and Twitch, is I booked I was doing some beats yesterday, and I got a text, and so one of the sports bars that I deal with, they text me, "Yo, we need you to come through Friday," and that's a good text to have. It's basically it's money, doing what I love to do. So I wanted to talk about that because, it's a process, and a lot of times when you're DJing, when you start, at least when I started, there's no manual, there's no book. I mean, there's a bunch of YouTube videos, so just add this on. But as I always say, I'm not a how-to. I'm more of this is my experience, and you take from it. Maybe I communicate something in a way that kind of like rings the bell for you. You take from it, and you're like, okay, well, let me try that. May not work for you the same way it worked for me, but at least you'll be able to take something from it that may be helpful. Okay, but pretty much I was introduced. It's Cali's Sports Bar in Long Beach. I'll be there Friday. I'm gonna do hip hop, reggaeton, dembow, dancehall. Okay, and I'll always tell people 10 to 2, but I get there early. Sometimes I'm there like at 9 o'clock, and I'll start at like 9:30. Just because I'm doing something I like, and it's cool. You know. So anyway, so I get the text, I'm like cool, confirm, boom. Typically, what happens? Let's talk about developing relationships. There's two type of ways, and there's just no other way to get around it. You're gonna have to go out and get rejected, and trust me, I've got rejected in ways that just, I mean, my ego be like, I'll be like wanting to say, the fuck is this owner like? Do he know who I am? I really do, but it just comes down to asking people. You got to go to the bar. You got to. I've tried going on Instagram, and sometimes when you go on the Instagram message, when you DM, it's a marketing company that's doing it. It's not the actual owner or someone at the bar, and that person will say, "Hey, if you want to contact the owner, you got to go through the. Here's their email." So sometimes you get an email. Sometimes you'll get no response at all, and the way I handle that is I'm going to keep DMing you until I get a response, until you just either block me or say no. And you kind of, like, I still had that attitude. Like, I just need somebody to tell me no. Just tell me no. Once you tell me no, okay, cool. I ain't like, why? Come on. But no answer to me means not right now. And so if I get either no answer or yes, then I'll just keep sending information, not keep asking. You say, well, okay, what kind of information do I typically send? I send, like, everyone knows I upload my mixes to YouTube and to SoundCloud. Okay, I do different mixes. I'll talk about that one day, what my mixes are and how I put them together. But I do mixes. I'll upload them to YouTube and to SoundCloud. And so I'll just send them the links. And that way, that's their sample. If they listen to it, okay, this is what he does. Okay, this is how it sounds. Okay, I kind of like that. Maybe I'll call him if I need to. All right. Or if I have an event that's not at another club or venue, let's say I have a festival coming up. Okay, so of course everyone's gonna know about that. I have another possible in the summer, another high-profile event coming up. It's not going to be at a club or a bar or, somewhere there's competition. It's going to be an event. So I'll post about that. Okay, this is what I'm doing. You just have to keep letting people know, and you're going to get a lot of more ignored than no's. But you got to go through that. Another thing I do is I go up and visit and see if the manager is there. And I have a card that I keep. I don't have it with me here, but hold on. No, I don't have it. And I don't want to leave the screen. So I have cards that have my information. And so I'll drop my card. That's what I call it. Hey, can I drop a card? And they'll tell me, sometimes they'll be like, well, we don't do DJs here. Okay, cool. Or they'll say, we have a DJ, but if I ever need anything, I'll keep it. Okay. And you got to go through that too. And then sometimes it's just a matter of somebody knows somebody else and they introduce you and you guys just vibe. And so what it comes down to is when I'm booking my gigs, I'm having clients and clientele. Okay. Now, one of the things that a lot of DJs don't think about, but if you're looking at this and listening to me, I would strongly recommend. That way, you keep yourself out of the vendor to partner. You go from being just a vendor that they use to being a partner. Okay, which is okay. I know Friday's coming up. I'm trying to book birthdays. Okay, I'm trying to go there, book a birthday. The reason why that's important is because now you have a built-in audience and you have a reason for that owner to keep bringing you back. Okay, it's hard to say to a DJ, "Now I'm bringing you back," if the people who are there want you there. But if you are just showing up like, okay, I post a flyer the day before, I'm just showing up. Now you're just a vendor. And typically it comes down to who gives me what I want for cheap. Which is why a lot of DJs complain, because they're like, oh, well, I don't want to be cheap. Well, if you're just a vendor, then it comes down to the lowest bid. But if you're a partner, then it comes down to, okay, I brought this to the table, you brought the alcohol, I brought the people. Now I want to be paid accordingly. Okay, so that's just something for you to think about when you're booking. I generally will do my flyers at postermywall.com. I'll do my own flyers. Okay, that's another thing that will help you out, is if you do the flyers and you send it over. Now, some venues will say, no, we'll do the flyer, because they have in-house marketing teams that will do the flyer. But a lot of places, they don't know how to do flyers, or if they know, they're not really good at it, right? They'll be missing relevant information, or they won't put your name as prominent as you want. They won't have the right kind of music. You know what I'm saying? And you have to think about, because you're a partner, you have to think about, like, who am I bringing to the bar, right? Who am I booking? And so if these are my people, and guess what? I need to have what's on the flyer that's going to cater to them. So I generally will do the flyer, send it over so they can send it through their social media. And then when I'm posting the flyer, this should be obvious, but it's not. I will tag them and I will check in. Most people will tag, but they'll forget to check in. And those check-ins is what helps them increase their notoriety, okay? Because they're getting a lot of check-ins. So you're thinking, well, it's just me. Yeah, well, that one check-in, maybe once, twice a week, 3 times, 4 times, as many times as you're posting. Well, that increases their traffic. And so if you're on Facebook or Instagram and you're checking in, then that increases traffic to them. Okay. So, make sure you definitely want to do that. Get the flyer. And then, another thing that I try to do is, which I'm going to be doing this week, is I'm going to be downloading new music. Okay. And so while I'm downloading new music, there's 2 things that I'm looking for. Okay. There's 3 levels. There is the music that I'm going to play that everybody knows and they don't want to hear but that music, meaning that version. Okay. Then there is the songs that's kind of getting old. Like an example would be Fucking Problems. I'm noticing that it's starting to get, people like it, but it's starting to get a little So what I'm going to be doing, instead of just throwing it out, because it is a song that people like, instead of throwing it out, what I'll probably do, it'll be looking for a hype version. Okay. BPM Supreme has, they're called BPM exclusives. Go to that, you download an exclusive, and they may have a hype version where usually it's Little John or Fat Man Scoop. And they're like, here we go, y'all. Here we go at the beginning. Somebody's hyping it up at the beginning. And then they may go with one verse, one chorus, and then out. As opposed to me just playing the regular new song. Okay? So I have my music that I'll play, my playlist that I'm pretty much think that, like, if it's planned out, but it's not, because most of the time I have these plans, but then And I'll talk about that one day, one Monday, where I have these plans, but then I'm going with the vibe. But then when the vibe doesn't work, I go back to the plan, right? So I have those songs that I know are gonna work, like Little John songs work. Shake That Monkey, that's Too Short, Get Low. That I got a Little John mix of about 6 songs. Those work. I'm not going to change those, right? I know I'm going to play that Little John mix. I know I'm going to do it. Like, it's not even a question. I'm going to do it, right? Okay, I have those. But then, like I said, there's The Fucking Problems, which is a good song. People like the song, but they may not want to hear it like 2 verses or one. They want to hear just the hype, hear a little bit. Oh, okay, yeah. And then be out. All right. And then now we're talking about new songs. Tyga and Doja Cat, who's hot right now. Doja is hot. Yo, if you don't have some Doja in if you're thinking, oh, hip hop, I don't want to play Doja, she's pop. Nah, you gotta have it. You gotta have it. Doja Cat is heated right now. I think she's pretty much the most heated female out there right now. And so you gotta have Doja Cat. But her and Tyga just came up with a new song. Now, a lot of DJs see that. They're like, oh my God, Doja, Tyga, they got a new song. So you want to jump on it. I used to do that too when I was like brand new. Oh my God, it's new shit. I'm going to play the new shit. And I had a DJ friend of mine that was like, people don't come to the club to hear new shit. They don't want to. People go to the club or bars, they come to see a DJ because they want a vibe and they want to relive a vibe that they've already lived. If you're trying to, I know it sounds crazy because it's like, well, don't you want to create new vibes? People generally are going to create the vibe. I'm just telling you from my experience. This is not a rule. This is not, it got to be like this. People generally want the vibe. They make their own vibe. They might have heard it on the radio or Spotify might have recommended it to them. Or a friend might be like, girl, or yo, you got to hear this. And then they have that vibe. By the time they come to the club and they see the DJ, it's kind of like in the old Baptist churches when the people would say, it seemed like the minister was talking to me. I know, he was really talking to me. Well, as a DJ, you want to talk to the people. You want to make them feel like you're talking to them. If you're giving them something that they ain't never heard before, then you ain't talking to them. And they looking around, who's he talking to? And they are more attracted to DJs that talk to them. So yes, I did download that song, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to the playlist. Okay. And I may cut it down to like, just depending on how it's formatted. Let's say if the chorus is up at the beginning. All right. I'm going to play the chorus at the beginning and then be out. Introduce it. But I'm not going to play one verse, let alone 2 verses, because people don't know it. Okay? And they don't have a vibe with it yet. If I'm surprised, and people generally will tell you when they like a song, you'll hear, oh, those are like the universal, I like that song. The female, or dudes going, oh, they like the song. You got to play 2 verses. When you hear, or oh, you got to play 2 verses. That's just how it is. Okay? So yeah, I just wanted to share that information. I don't know if that shit is helpful to you or not, but if it is, take it down. I'm just giving you my journey. I'm letting you know I'm gonna be out Friday at Khalid's Sports Bar. Come through. It's always a good time. There's no cover. It's a good party, right? The drinks ain't hella expensive. You know what I'm saying? And very soon they're gonna have tacos. when they have tacos, it's gonna be so lit. They said it's gonna be this month that they're gonna have tacos in there. Man, it's gonna be so lit. That place is so tight. It's got like TV screens. It's really really clean, and it's in Long Beach. It's right here. You know, I mean, it's next to the train. So if you live in downtown Long Beach, you want to take the train. All right, cool. Take the train. You know, it's just a cool spot. So come see it. Plus, I'm cool. I'm good at what I do. If you want to check me out, see if I'm good at what I do, you got plenty of mixes on my YouTube channel. Okay, you can check them out. Or my SoundCloud. It's up to you. But if you're watching this is YouTube. And see what you got to do. I'll be back next Monday for sure. Be telling you about, something, whatever I remember to talk about. That's telling you my journey. Until then, subscribe, like, you know what to do. Just help me out, and I will appreciate it. Talk to you later, and I love you. No, I